Never reply to a voice behind you. Before you listen to this story, make sure no one is standing behind you. Because if you hear a voice call your name tonight, do not answer. Not the first time, not the second time. And if the voice sounds like someone you love, walk faster. In many old Chinese folk warnings, there is a rule passed down quietly from grandparents to children. At night, if a voice calls you from behind, never reply. Because some voices are not asking for your attention. They are checking whether you are still protected. Ming first heard this warning from his grandmother when he was little. She told him, "A person has 3 fires protecting them, one above the head and one on each shoulder. If you turn back at night, 1 fire may go out." Ming laughed at the time. He thought it was just an old village superstition. But years later, after his grandmother passed away, Ming returned to his hometown for her funeral. That night, he walked home alone. The village road was narrow and dark. There were no streetlights, only the sound of insects, cold wind, and his footsteps on the dirt path. Then he heard it. Ming. He stopped. The voice came from behind him. Soft. Clear. Familiar. It sounded exactly like his grandmother. For a moment, Ming's heart almost broke. He wanted to turn around. He wanted to answer. But then he remembered her warning. If someone calls you from behind after dark, never reply. So Ming kept walking. The voice came again. Ming, why won't you answer me? His hands turned cold. That was her voice. The same gentle voice that had called him home for dinner when he was a child. But his grandmother was dead. Ming walked faster. Behind him, footsteps began to follow. Slow at first, then closer. The voice called again. Ming. He did not answer. Ming. He did not turn around. Then the voice changed. It became his mother's voice. Then his father's voice. Then suddenly it became his own voice. Ming looked back. His breathing grew heavy. The village gate was just ahead. A few more steps. One more turn. Then something cold leaned close to his right ear and whispered, "If you don't answer, how do I know you are still alive?" Ming ran. He ran until he reached the nearest house and slammed his hand against the wooden door. An old neighbor opened it. The moment Ming stepped inside, the voice outside disappeared. The old neighbor looked at his pale face and asked quietly, "You heard it too?" The next morning, Ming returned to the road. There were no footprints behind him, only his own. But beside his last step, there was a small black mark in the dirt, like something had been standing very close behind him, waiting. Since that night, Ming never answered any voice behind him after dark. Because some voices know your name. Some voices can imitate the people you love. And some voices are not calling you, they are counting your fires. So if you ever walk alone at night and hear someone call your name from behind, keep walking. Do not reply. Do not turn around. And if you want to hear more forgotten warnings from old Chinese folklore, subscribe before the next one finds you.